welcome. You are listening to the number one sports entertainment show anywhere. I dare you, anywhere. You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. I'm Spitface, and I'm here with the always classy and sometimes sassy host of this show, the First Lady of Sports Talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. Good, happy King Day, Cheryl.
Hi, happy King Day to you, too. Yes, we celebrate the life and legacy of Martin Luther King, and I'm quite sure here in Miami they got a whole bunch of things available for you to do.
Yep. And, First Lady, before we get into things, I just got to mention this. I am tired of a certain group of white folk. See, I ain't mad at all. See, I wonder, just a certain group of white folk. Because they done rubbed me wrong, First Lady.
What? What happened?
They done rubbed me wrong. And they've been rubbing me wrong with this for a little while. And it is the ones who keep stealing quotes from Dr. King to use them to say that, turn his words into, I'll say, they program without the context.
Right.
See, I'm checking them. I'm watching. They ain't getting past me, First Lady. Shame the devil, tell the truth.
Well, we all know he said a lot of different things, and people do quote Martin Luther King, especially.
Yeah, all up out of context. all up out of context. I'm gonna use a Dr. King quote to rationalize that we can't teach critical race theory in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. Come on. All right, but that First Lady, I just had to get that off my chest.
Okay, I'm glad you were able to get it off. You had to vent.
All right, now check out the playoffs is on, First Lady. Mm-hmm. They on. I know they on. I saw them on television. They on. Check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from Michelle Rose. Will she find her shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you say?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world, not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something, so we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Las Vegas Raiders wish they could fly far, far away from penalty after losing to the Cincinnati Bengals. Was this game more about the Raiders shooting themselves in the foot with penalty after penalty, or the play of the Bengals? Did David Carr prove he is the right quarterback for the Raiders? Are Joe Burrow and the Bengals the most dangerous team in the AFC playoffs? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what everybody in Cincinnati is saying. The 31-year drought is over. It's over.
It's over.
Over. The Cincinnati Bengals finally won a playoff game. The Bengals' last playoff game, Spitface, came on January 6, 1991. And guess who they beat? They beat your hometown team. Not the Texans, the Houston Oilers.
They beat the Houston. Well, at that time, I was in the hometown of the Chicago. So
oh, okay. Well, they were your former team, the Houston Oilers, 41-14. It was an AFC wild card game, and we all know the Oilers have changed their name to the Texans. And Zach Taylor has accomplished what former coach Marvin Lewis couldn't do It's 7 playoff games.
Oh, God.
And that is win, and win.
You just go throw some shade on my...
I have to, let me tell you, Spitface, I mean, Stephen A. Smith from ESP First Take, he always let us know that Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game for the Bengals. Never. 7 games, 7 attempts, lost all 7 of them. But, give Zach Taylor the credit, that Bengals team won. And guess who has the longest playoff drought now? Guess who? It's the Detroit Lions. They haven't won a playoff game in over 20-plus years. Hell, they probably haven't even been in the playoff games to win the playoff.
I'm trying to remember the last time the Detroit Lions won the division or a wild card. It's been a while.
No, the last time that they were in the playoff, I don't remember that. But anyway, the game itself was okay. I mean, at least this game was much closer than the Patriots-Bills game. And you talk about the penalties. There were 14 accepted penalties.
Woo.
Believe it or not, though, it was penalties on both sides. So it wasn't that it was just all the Raiders that had penalties. The Raiders, unfortunately, their penalties seem to come at a significant time. But the one penalty or the one time that the referee did not well, actually, before I get there, the Raiders finished with 7 penalties for 46 yards, and the Bengals had 7 penalties for 56 yards. So actually the Bengals were penalized more than the Raiders. But like I said, it just seemed like the Raiders' penalties just came at an inopportune time. But the controversy in this game really was regarding a penalty or play that the referees did not call. There appeared to be an inadvertent whistle on Joe Burrow's first half touchdown pass to Tyler Boyd. I mean, what happened is there was question whether or not Burrow stayed in bounds. So like everything else, all touchdown plays are reviewed. But they're reviewed only to verify that it's a touchdown. Now, for some reason, prior to them reviewing the touchdown, the referees got together to determine whether the whistle blew before the catch was made or after the catch was made. They determined it was after the catch was made, but it clearly wasn't. I mean, NBC showed the replay. You heard when the whistle blew. The whistle blew before the catch was made. So in those type of situations, by rule, they're supposed to replay that down again when there's an inadvertent whistle during a play. They didn't do that. They reviewed the play because it was a touchdown, but I don't think they reviewed the play to determine that the whistle was blown. So it was reviewed just to make sure that it was a legitimate touchdown because there was some question whether or not Burrows went out of bounds before he threw the ball, but he stayed within the in play in the field, and he threw the touchdown, but it should not have counted. So unfortunately for the Raiders, that was a very significant not a penalty or no play, a play that should not have taken place. But, the Raiders really didn't complain too much about it. Those type of things happen. And the Raiders had a chance to win the game. But as far as I'm concerned, I think it was more about the Bengals winning the game versus the Raiders not, shooting themselves in the foot because they still had an opportunity to tie this game at the end. But Carr could not come up with the touchdown that was needed. And to be honest with you, I thought the Bengals really gave the Raiders a chance to tie the game because they were very conservative with their play calling when they had a chance to put that game away. Very conservative. And to me, they gave the Raiders enough time to tie the game. But unfortunately, the Cards were finally in the Bengals' favorite for them to win this game. And, Carr, there's always going to be question about Derek Carr. Is he the best quarterback for the Raiders? Well, let me put it this way. if they can go get Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and Russell Wilson, then I said, yeah, he's not the best quarterback for them because you can get those
That's a
three.
big if.
Now, what I said, the question is Derek Carr the best quarterback for the Raiders? My answer is, if you can get those players, those three quarterbacks, then the answer is no. Go get those three quarterbacks. But if those three quarterbacks are not available to the Raiders, then he is the right quarterback for the Raiders because there is no other quarterback out there for them to go to. I mean, he would be the best option. I mean, you're not going to try to get a quarterback in the draft. Maybe you could consider getting a quarterback in the draft if you're going to be able to use a late-round draft pick to snatch one of the quarterbacks that's out there now through the draft. But remember, this is not a quarterback heavy draft. There's not that many great quarterbacks in this draft. So as far as I'm concerned, Derek Carr is the right quarterback at this point in time. I mean, who else are you going to get? Some of the backups. I mean, maybe if Jameis Winston's come back after an ACL torn, I don't know about all of that. Marcus Mariota, I don't know about him. I mean, so Derek Carr is the best quarterback, like I said, unless you can get those other three quarterbacks. So Joe Burrows, the question, can Joe Burrows and the Bengals can they be dangerous? They can be dangerous, but they're not the most dangerous team in the AFC playoffs. That still would be the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll say it and I'll say it again, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have too many weapons. They have a great quarterback, and they are a proven commodity. They know how to win, especially in the playoffs, and they just got too many firepower right now. I mean, Burrows and them are good. They're great. I mean, like I said, I thought they were very conservative yesterday. I mean, Burrows, I expected him to throw for over 300 and something yards, which he didn't throw for 300 and something yards. I think it was 2-something. I can't remember exactly. So, they could have done, like I said, they was very conservative. So no, they're not the most dangerous team in the AFC, but they're dangerous. All right, Spitface. Did you enjoy the game?
I enjoyed the game, and I do not think that the errant whistle impacted anything. There's the rule, there's what happened. But looking at that play, be it not for the errant whistle, that score was happening. That bottom line, that score was happening. What it is being upset that they didn't get a break that they should have got because of the errant whistle. So, but I do say this: it's the penalties, as you said, First Lady. Now, what I'm looking at is not the number of penalties was atrocious. Okay, that's just how they go. But at key times, and those are the key times that I'll just say that you don't see on the stat sheet that have this perception that there's some issue with Carr at quarterback. And I think the issue with Carr's quarterback was more of a media thing that a certain coach with his racist ass, was doing. As you said, First Lady, outside of some really top-notch quarterbacks, what's David Carr? David Carr, he's dealt with. David Carr kind of reminds me of Matt Stafford. Only the Raiders haven't been like as bad. Well, I don't know. Let me take that back. But being up at the Lions, and hey, you can't even tell what kind of success you would really have because the organization you with. Now, I don't think the Raiders organization was anywhere. They've had some bad years, but anywhere like Detroit has been over the last I don't know how long. So, I go, look, now that I go watch out next year, and the big thing with the Raiders is, are they going to keep the coach, the interim coach. Should they do that? Now, I kind of think that that's a big decision, but I really, really think the Raiders should get another coach. They should be looking to they rivals up north for a certain person and get him down there working with QB Carr. Okay? Now, I do think this was more about the Raiders shooting themselves in the foot with key penalties that just, sucked it, where now you're getting a field goal instead of a touchdown. And, yes, I agree with you, First Lady, that the Bengals messed around. The Bengals did, they weren't, they was doing their thing, but it did seem like, okay, they was throwing a few ops, toward the Raiders' way. But now they are, as you said, they're a dangerous team, but they're not. I think the game with the Raiders kind of showed some things that their next opponent will, try to capitalize on. And if they're on the road, it may be a tougher road to hoe. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
Well, yeah, I mean, their quarterback, Burrows, he's been doing well, but again, he's still considered a rookie quarterback in the playoffs. So we'll see how he does moving forward. And like you said, it is a chance. Obviously, they will be on the road, depending on, I'm not sure how it matches up. If let's say the Steelers win, if they played KC, or if they end up playing the Bills, or they still could play the Titans. So we'll have to see which where do they fall and where do they go. But it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough. So anyway, Spitface, over to you.
All right. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my pants and putting suckers in there, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering, over the competition I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced in dice. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the 47-17 knockout punch the Bills landed on the Patriots. At one point, it looked like men playing with boys. The Bills buffaloed the Patriots on both sides of the ball and special teams. Are the Bills the most dangerous team in the AFC playoffs? Is there an NFC team that matches up well against the Bills? Is the center of power in the AFC moving to the AFC East? Leroy Satchel Paige, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking what you saying. First Lady, they did kind of, they have laid two butt whoopings on the Patriots. Because didn't they, just whip them bad a couple of weeks ago? That was, I don't even call that putting a dagger in the heart, because they'd already stabbed the man. This is called kicking a man when he's down. They just whipped them up. I think that what Buffalo showed was that they just have better talent. And, Belichick's a, great coach, but you got to have his talent. And I think what Buffalo actually did was just show how good a coach and how good that organization is. For the Patriots, that they got no way they should have even been in the playoffs. I mean, they just exposed so much. And they just don't have the talent. Now, the crazy part is the Patriots will be back. They will, because they know they need the talent, but man, they will be back. So watch out there. Now, are the Bills the most? I say the Bills are the most dangerous team in the AFC Chiefs. You know, I say like the Kansas City Chiefs are the odds-on favorite. I don't really kind of go there. They're not the one. They're the one where a team has to be able to upset them, and a team that can upset them, I would say, is the most dangerous team. And I think that the Bills are built to, be in that marathon with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, all paths are going through Arrowhead. And I think these boys coming in with some body armor. So I think they are the most dangerous team in the AFC. Now, looking at a team that matches up well against the Bills, the Green Bay Packers. Because I think that the Buffalo Bills will put a butt whooping on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's right. I know all of y'all going, wait, Tom Terrific and the Brady Bunch down south, them boys, the Bills will treat them like they did the Patriots. and I go, Tampa Bay got talent, but I'm going, woo. So the team that I see matches up well is that bad man. And him and them cheese heads, and they loving each other. First, did you see the little video clips? They hugging, singing Kumbaya, But, First Lady, what you say? The First Lady?
I'm sorry. Technical muting problems. I'm here. I was just running my mouth. Didn't realize I was muted. But anyway, there's really not much to talk about this game between the Bills and the Patriots. I mean, the Bills destroyed the Patriots, and I really thought Josh McDaniels' play calling was very conservative. He called the game like he had a rookie quarterback. Now, we know Mac Jones is a rookie quarterback, but McDaniels didn't have to call the game like he was a rookie quarterback. I mean, to me, they really didn't have any chance to win because they weren't that aggressive in the first half, and that's when the Bills took control of the game. So, I mean, they definitely were the most dominant team, and I just think, to me, that the Bills, obviously, they've been playing real well the end of the season, and the Patriots were not playing well at the end of the season. So that's what happens. It's always good to get a team that's hot going down the stretch of the regular season. Now, I mean, you've asked that. The producers asked the question, are the Bengals the most dangerous team? Now we are asking if the Bills are the most dangerous team in the AFC playoff. No. I'm going to continue to say the Kansas City Chiefs are the most dangerous team because they've done it before and they have the weapons. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, their issue is going to be defense. Can they come out and play playoff-level defense? That's going to be the issue. Now, the Bills have the number one defense in the league. So we need what NFC team will match up against the Bills? Well, you know what I said, and you threw that. You said the Green Bay Packers, but I really think the Tampa Bay Bucks. Well, they would have been. I mean, again, if Leonard Fournette comes back, I'll give the Bucks a better chance. And because, the Bucks are number 3 in the league with the run and number 1 NFC team again when it comes to running. They, protecting the run. And we all know the Bills, pretty much they are a run team. Their quarterback runs. They really don't have their running back is not that great running, but they need to get him more into running. But Allen can throw the ball too, but they predominantly will run the ball more. And Allen threw for over 300 yards against the Patriots. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the number 3 team in the league against the run. and the number one team in the NFC against the run. So, like I said, I think they would give them a good game. And I also think the Cowboys. Remember now, the Cowboys have the number one offense in the league. So if the Cowboys are on all points, that means everybody's playing well. That means Dak is playing well. The running game is on point. The receivers, that would be a great matchup because you'll have the best offense against the best defense, and then you'll really see, does defense prevail or does offense prevail? Green Bay Packers are a combination of, they do a lot of things well, but they don't do a lot of things great, but they're still good. You know what I mean? They do a whole bunch of different things great. They're not one good thing that they do really, really well, with the exception of having Aaron Rodgers, who always will put them in contention for the playoffs. But I just think from a team-wise, the Cowboys and the Bucs would give the Bills a run for their money. But I still don't think the Bills are the top team in the AFC. There's still some other teams out there better. Now, regarding the center of power in the AFC, it's definitely not moving to the AFC East. I mean, yes, the Bills are the top team in that division. The Patriots can be competitive, but the Dolphins are in transition, and they're always in transition, and the Jets are still not good. I mean, the Jets will eventually be good, but they're still not good. So I can't say the AFC East is moving into the power. I truly think the most competitive division in the AFC is the AFC North. I mean, with the Bengals on the come up now, you know, that division, you have 4 teams that can legitimately make the playoffs. Now, obviously, it depends on what the Steelers do next season when it comes to Big Ben, because they're going to have to get another quarterback. So I don't know what quarterback they have in mind, because we already know their backups are not that great, and so we'll have to see how they replace Big Ben. And then you got Baker Mayfield at the Browns. You know, what's going to come of Baker Mayfield? He's having surgery, and maybe he'll have a good comeback next year. I mean, we all know the Browns' defense is stellar, and they just really one good quarterback away from being able to compete in the Super Bowl. And then you have the Ravens. Now, the Ravens were decimated by injuries this year, so they still have a good core team that could be very competitive. So I would put the AFC North above the AFC East, and I also would put the AFC West way ahead of the AFC East, because, you know, you got the Chiefs. They are the best, but the other teams are either a quarterback or a good coach away. And you already alluded to the Raiders were a good coach away, which I believe they are too, and the Chargers, they need to fire that coach, and they need to get another coach for the Chargers, because the Chargers and Raiders are a coach away. The Broncos, well, actually, they did fire their coach. They are a coach, too, but I really thought they were more of a quarterback away for the Broncos. They really need a good quarterback, because the defense is stellar there, too. So I just think, the AFC, it's ascending, but it's not ascending that much compared to some of the other divisions. That's all I'm saying, Spitface.
All right. Well, I guess on that note, First Lady, please take us to break.
All right. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Michelle Rose on Shout Out Part 1.
That music flows in from around the globe. To get a shout-out from the panel, First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Michelle Rose, not to be confused with Mikhail Rose, who's making a comeback. Over to you.
Yeah, I thought, I said we heard her before, but it's a different performer. But anyway, on Shout-Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout-out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today we are featuring Michelle Rose out of, where is she out of?
She's out of Minnesota.
Okay, out of Minnesota. Okay, the producer forgot that little tidbit. But anyway, they say in Minnesota, let's see what they say in Minnesota. They say she has been honored to collaborate on many of her songs with Dr. Fink from Prince's band, The Revolution. She records pop alternative music, but also sings opera for fun. Okay, well, maybe she mixes both of them together. That'll be quite interesting. All right, let's hear Silver and Gold.
Oh, we're dancing in the snow like we got nowhere to go. So glad I have you. I got something to hold you. Warm me up, baby, like some hot cocoa. I'm thankful that I have you. Don't need silver and gold. Oh, I wanna go in, get you right by the fire. You're the only present on my list I desire. So wrap me up, baby, wrap me up tighter. I won't fight it. Oh, we're dancing in the snow like we got nowhere to go. So glad I have you. I got something to hold you. Warm me up, baby, like some hot cocoa. I'm thankful that I have you. Don't need silver and gold. Oh, don't need silver and gold. Oh, just need someone to hold in the snow. Oh, don't need silver and gold. Oh, just need someone to hold in the snow.
Candles burn bright as we kiss through the night. My grip on you tight, nothing's ever felt so right. You're the lamb to my lion, till you're mine I keep trying. Shake out the doubt, love's what I'm about. A dove to my hawk, hand in hand we shall walk. Here's a hint, here's a clue, I'm yearning for you.
Oh, we're dancing in the snow like we got nowhere to go. So glad I have you. I got something to hold you. Warm me up, baby, like some hot cocoa. I'm thankful that I have you. Don't need silver and gold. Oh, I wanna go in, get you right by the fire. You're the only present on my list I desire. So wrap me up, baby, wrap me up tighter. I won't fight it. Oh, we're dancing in the snow like we got nowhere to go. So glad I have you. I got something to hold you. Warm me up, baby, like some hot cocoa. I'm thankful that I have you. Don't need silver and gold. Oh, don't need silver and gold. Oh, just need someone to hold in the snow. Oh, don't need silver and gold. Oh, just need someone to hold in the snow. Oh, we're dancing in the snow like we got nowhere to go. So glad I have you. I got something to hold you. Warm me up, baby, like some hot cocoa. I'm thankful that I have you. Don't need silver and gold. Oh, don't need silver and gold. Oh, just need someone to hold in the snow. Oh, don't need silver and gold. Oh, just need someone to hold in the snow.
Okay, that's Michelle Rose, Silver and Gold. Yes, that's definitely not Michaela Rose. I'm going to shout it out. I didn't quite understand the man's voice coming in. It sounded like a television report or something. I thought that was a little bit out of place, but I enjoyed her voice and I enjoyed the music. I thought it was well produced. I'm going to definitely shout the song out. Spitface, are you shouting it out?
I'm sounding it out. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't know where Bella Lugosi came from, but I'm like, we could have left him out altogether. But I will say this, Miss Rose. I don't know why you put a vampire in your song, but don't do that no more. Your stuff is good, but don't be doing that because that can be detrimental. Like I said, Said, leave the vampires out. Drac do not need to be in that track. That's all I got to say there, but I'm shouting it out.
All right. So on part 2 of Shout Out, we'll have another performance from Michelle Rose. Is that the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
All right. It's time for Flip It. And what's that you say, Flipper? First Lady, Flipper just wanted to make it known that he and the underwater sea creatures, they are united. And on this Dr. King Day, they united. And they say, look, they looking at a knock at midnight. See, that's what they looked at. They said a knock at midnight. And the knock at midnight they worried about is that governor of Florida trying to get his own militia. Sound like he trying to bring back a knock at midnight where folks got to, what's that knock? Who is it? Why they got on hoods? That's the other thing. Will DeSantis' militia have to wear hoods? That's what. Hey. Got to watch him. But time for Flip It, where hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. The Bears and Miami are both looking for new head coaches. Which team is more likely to choose a coach of color, specifically African American? Defend. The Bears might scoop up Leslie Frazier. They are more likely to choose a black head coach. Sometimes the circumstances behoove you in a way that's like positive for you. Like, man, this could be a good deal. Leslie Frazier definitely got skills. And the thing with the Bears is that bringing back 85 Bear, that's just like to Bear fans and to the Bear community, that could be as dynamic and hopefully even better than when they brought an old Bear back to the team that took them to the Super Bowl. That's right, Iron Mike Dicker. They brought Iron Mike Dicker back to the Bears as the head coach, and he had never had any head coaching experience. He hadn't even had coordinator experience, but he brought him back, and they want to bring that nostalgia back. Plus, Leslie Frazier got skills, so that's just so perfect. Miami, on the other hand, shoot, they could use Leslie Frazier too, And there's a couple of other. So with Miami, there's an opportunity, to bring in African American, just because the opportunity persists, but it not like somebody, a former Dolphin who just happened to be African American. So I think that the Bears gonna do their due diligence and determine that, man, Leslie Frazier, get him. First Lady, please defend.
The Bears, yeah, you're right. The Bears may swoop down and get Leslie Frazier, but I look at it this way. I at this point, I think the Bears are more likely to take a black coach in comparison to the Miami Dolphins, and the reason why, because the Bears, they had a black coach. Matter of fact, one of their better playoff runs came with a black coach at helm, and that was Lovie Smith. Obviously their best years with Mike Ditka. I mean, they won the Super Bowl under Mike Ditka. But after that, Lovie Smith, had led them to the playoffs 6 times, and they got to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they lost to the Colts in 2006, but, Lovie Smith had a good seasons with the Chicago Bears from 2004 to 2012. Now, Leslie Frazier, he has been a good head coach before. He was in Minnesota, but as usual, black coaches only get 2 to 3 years to prove themselves. Frazier is responsible for the Bills' #1 defensive record right now, being #1 in defense as their defensive coordinator. So he would be a good choice. And Brian Flores is another black coach that could be in the mix for the Bears job. Now, let's look at it. Chicago, Chi-Town, they have a high percentage of non-white population. And the NFL is 70% black. So it makes sense for Chicago to hire an African-American coach again. You know what? It makes a lot of sense for them to do that right now because, there's a lot of black people living in Chi-Town. And I think they would want to see another black coach. I mean, we've already seen, several, I think they had, 2 or 3 coaches since Lovie Smith. And it just has not worked out. It might have been 2, I think, right? It was
at least 2.
At least 2. I know there was 2. So it just has not worked out. So I think it's time for the Chicago Bears to give black coach another chance, and it could either be Frazier or Brian Flores. And I just don't see Miami hiring a black coach, anytime soon. But who knows? They may hire somebody anytime soon. They just had a black coach, so we'll see how that goes. That's all I'm saying, Spitface.
All right, okay. This is Flip It, so we flip the script and defend the opposing view. Miami needs a coach who can prove Tua was a good draft choice, like a certain assistant in KC who has worked with Patrick Mahomes. So, one of the speculations during the off season was that, really, I'm not going to say a speculation. Deshaun Watson wanted that certain coach up in KC and was upset enough that the Texans didn't even interview the man, that he was like, I'm out of here. Now, there's, of course, more to the Deshaun Watson story that will probably be revealed in an NFL movie in 20 years, and we'll find the behind-the-scenes story. But, that's how much, and there were rumors that Brian Flores, if things didn't quite work out, they actually ended up not working out, that was somebody, that assistant coach up in KC, to bring in to work with Deshaun Watson, that would be like, oh, we got it all together. We got the guy, the QB with the coach he wants. We got a coach, that can work with, all-world QB. We need him. Now, the way things turned out, in Miami, they rather the management and the owner rather like Tua. They're like, hey, we ain't giving up the house to get Deshaun, but hey, now we can the coach that Deshaun wanted, we can get him and have him work with Tua, and that's more important because we're gonna keep Tua. We done said that Tua our man. So they need somebody. Now, Flipper is on the bench in Miami. Now, I don't know if Flipper, maybe if Flipper is an African-American mammal or not. I had to look at Flipper's voter registration card and find out. But that's what I'm saying, First Lady.
Okay. Oh my goodness! All right, Flippers everywhere. Yeah, Even though Miami just fired a black coach, they do have a black GM, Chris Greer. So, he's definitely going to be under pressure to hire another black coach. Actually, I believe Brian Flores was the first African-American coach that the Miami had as their head coach in team's history. I don't think they never had a black coach as their head coach. So, and he
they had a lot of coaches
go.
fired on Black Monday.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Brian Flores wasn't fired because of performance. He was fired just because he couldn't get along with Chris Greer, and he didn't believe in Tua. And, obviously, the Dolphins should consider Eric Bieniemy. But people don't realize Eric Bieniemy has actually never called a play in the NFL. Andy Reid does all the call playing, but what it is a collaboration with Bieniemy. So a lot of people always knock Eric for that because of the fact that he really, even though he's the offensive coordinator, he hasn't called any plays. So, I mean, that's something, that might be a knock against him. But to me, the real person the Dolphins need to hire as their next coach is Brian Leftwich, the Tampa Bay offensive coordinator. And let me tell you why. Because he's a quarterback whisperer. He's done well with quarterback. He calls plays for Tampa Bay, and he puts Tom Brady in great situations.
He is a quarterback.
That's right, and he is a quarterback. That's right. When you got a quarterback whisperer, you expect him to be a quarterback, not no Adam Gase. But anyway, the bottom line is he would be great for Tua. He's done well with Tom Brady. He's done well with Jameis Winston. Remember, Jameis Winston put up great numbers under Brian Leftwich. The problem was he also put up some bad numbers when it came to interceptions, but you can't blame the coach for that.
Is that why they said that our secret weapon against Cuba was Jameis Winston because he could overthrow anybody?
Well, I don't know about that. But I just think Brian Leftwich deserves a head coaching job. He's never been a head coach. They're always recycling all of these non-black coaches. I mean, can you believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars had considered I think they interviewed Bill, what's Bill's name? Oh my gosh, the head coach of the former head coach of the Texans,
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Can you believe he got an interview? Come on now. You're talking about, I don't know what Shad Khan is doing in Jacksonville. I don't know what he's doing there, but my goodness, Bill O'Brien, give me a break. But Brian Leftwich definitely deserves, and Miami would be a great place for Leftwich because it's not too far to travel from Tampa to Miami. So, he probably still keep his family living in Tampa. It's just a hop, jump, and a skip away. So I think that's the route that the Dolphins need to go, bring Brian Leftwich in town.
All right, First Lady, on that note, please take us a break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2. Do the right thing, Miami.
A knock at midnight.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Spitface, over to you.
All right. Dumb criminal Dallas. Dun, 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 dun. An armed carjacking in South Oak Cliff turned sour for the alleged thieves after Dallas police said both men could not actually drive the car they were attempting to steal. car. Okay. Investigators said 2 men approached the driver of a Ford Mustang GT along the 6,000 block of Hidden Trail. They demanded the car. A fight broke out, and the owner of the vehicle ended up grazed in the leg by a bullet after shots were fired. Police said the suspects tried to speed off but could not get the car out of gear. Investigators believe the suspects did not know how to drive a stick shift or manual transmission and kept stalling the car. What kind of car? See, these is obviously they the video game. They the video game carjack generation. They only know how to say it. Oh man, guys, the water splashing there. It must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It.
The Patriots lost badly to the Bengals, but we wonder, should Mac Jones be Rookie of the Year? Panel defend. He's a rookie and the only one to make the playoff. He should be Rookie of the Year. Spitface defend.
Yeah, he's the out of the rookie quarterbacks that came in. He is the only one that made it to the playoffs and not looking too bad. So and I don't see the Patriots making it to the playoffs if they hadn't started Mac Jones. I really don't see that. And he right now. You know how they have that word where they go, a quarterback is a game manager. Like, that's a dirty word. You better manage the game. Ain't that your job? So it's like, you're just a game manager. No, you're doing the job of quarterback. It's nice if they can, do something spectacular, but the job of quarterback is to manage the game. If you can't manage the game, then you might make spectacular plays, but you be losing, And and for Mac Jones, I go. It should be an honor that at this point in his career, as a rookie, you're a game manager. Well, hey, that means he's doing right thing. He's not giving the other team the ball. He's not causing the team to lose. Now, there may be some games that, he couldn't get them over the hump. Hey, rookie. But he did get the Patriots to the playoffs, and he should be Rookie of the Year.
All right, got the Patriots to the playoff, and I agree with you. I mean, that's basically what I think why he should be the Rookie of the Year. I believe, don't they separate it into offensive and defense? I don't remember how the NFL does it, but it's a tight race between him and Jamar Chase. I'm going to give Mac Jones the edge because he has been the best quarterback, like you said, Spitface. Of those 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round last year, Jones is far exceeding those other quarterbacks, including Trevor Lawrence, because, Trevor Lawrence was number 1, and Zach Wilson was number 2, and a whole bunch of them went ahead of him. He dropped down to number 15 into the lap of the Patriots. And he had the biggest accomplishment because, like you said, he guided the Patriots to the playoff. The Patriots missed the playoff last year with a veteran quarterbacks, remember? And this year, Mac Jones, everybody was shocked that Cam Newton didn't make the team. They already made a decision that Mac Jones was going to be their quarterback, but they didn't even want Cam on the team. Because I guess they didn't want it to be a quarterback controversy for Mac Jones, and that was the best decisions that the Patriots did. And he proved himself to be a great quarterback. And when it comes to between him and Jamar Chase, well, let's face it, Jamar Chase is definitely special. Don't get me wrong, but he needs Joe Burrow's help to make him special. Mac Jones make other players special. So, this award always usually goes to a quarterback for the most part. But, I'm not taking away the value of Jamar Chase. But the Mac attack is just too much. So Mac Jones is definitely the Rookie of the Year. But we're going to flip the script. All right, panel defend. Bengals receiver Jamar Chase is probably a better pick than Mac Daddy. He will win Rookie of the Year. All right, Spitface defend.
Oh, this is really a tough one. This is really, really a tough one. Because you got, here's Mac Daddy, got his team into the playoffs. That just counts for so much. And then you have Jamar. You can't say that they would definitely have been in the playoffs without him, but boy, having him. And the other big thing is that Jamar, I think he had over 1,500 receiving yards, which is the highest receiving yardage from an NFL rookie in NFL history. So you kind of go, man, we got a player who has historic numbers in the NFL, and we got a rookie that got his team to the playoffs. And it's like, can you really kind of like, you can see value in both of them, but I have to give a record-breaking season a little bit more of an edge. That's just like, you think about Barry White as not Barry White, but sometimes I think about Barry White, Barry Sanders, the running backs who in their rookie year, bam, and were able to, that made that Zeke, made that difference, Now, the difference with Rookie of the Year and MVP is that Rookie of the Year doesn't, the offensive Rookie of the Year doesn't automatically go to a quarterback.
Oh.
Which is a big difference between the MVP. It's not an automatic, but it's like at least 9 out of 10, so that it's going to go to a quarterback. So that's just kind of how that rolls. It's really, but the offensive Rookie of the Year is more broad. A QB, a wide receiver, a running back, a tackle, many different. There's more of a variety of players who can get that offensive Rookie of the Year. But I kind of go, you have a historic accomplishment in the NFL, that gives you the edge. So, Jamar, hope you enjoy that Rookie of the Year dinner.
Well, we always say that the wise guys in Vegas, they know the pulse of an award. And, of course, they have Jamar Chase as the favorite to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's at minus 220, and Mac Jones is behind him at plus 180. So that just tells you there they got their money on Jamar Chase. And like you said, he has broken the record for the most yardage by a rookie. It was a long-time record in the modern era. And he's broken several different records. His game against the Chiefs, Week 17 game against the Chiefs, he broke the all-time single-game record. He made history on Sunday when he reeled in 11 catches for 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that was the most receiving yards ever by a rookie in a NFL game. So you're right. He's a record breaker. And not only did he break the all-time record, he also broke the Bengals record for most receiving yards in a season. He obviously broke Chad Ochocinco's record. It was Chad Johnson back then. but he broke his record. So, I mean, this player really, like you said, Spitface, I mean, he's breaking records. And, of course, he has to need help with Joe Burrows, but maybe he gets Jamar Chase that makes Joe Burrows look good. You know, we can look at it that way, definitely look at it that way. But, I mean, the two of them are obviously together, and they're around the same age, so it's going to be, the Bengals are going to be set for life for a while with these two players. And Jamar Chase definitely should be Rookie of the Year because of the fact that he has dominated in his position. And, you know, being that he's a rookie, he's fourth in receiving yards of all receivers. He has 18.1 yards per reception to lead the league. He leads the league in that. And he's second in the entire NFL in receiving touchdown, fourth in receiving yards. So, I mean, this man is doing it with the greats in the NFL when it comes to wide receiving. So we definitely got to put Jamar Chase ahead of Mac Daddy Jones. All right, Spitface, please take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Michelle Rose, hopefully without the vampire, on Shout Out Part 2. Please stay tuned. Drac, get back.
You are still listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right, we have another performance from Michelle Rose. Hey, DJ, let's hear Angel in the Skies.
What do you possess over me? Is there something more than chemistry? You set my inhibitions free like an
All right. Angel in Disguise. First Lady, what's the verdict? I think First Lady might be muted.
First Lady keeps muting herself. I'm just running my mouth. I was so excited. That's another great song for Michelle Rose. Enjoyed it. And like you said, she left the vampire out.
Much better without that darn vampire. Let me tell you. That was the main, you know. And, you know, sometimes you try to, like, include a friend, get him a little boost. I'm giving it a shout-out, too, First Lady. Now, that is the end of shout-out. If you liked what you heard from Michelle Rose, check her out at michellerose.com, and that's MICHELLE, Rose.com, and Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to who? Content at oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
All right. Well, who will win the NFL crown? It is time for the picks. Unfortunately, we do not have the last week's results. The production crew, they'll get that out as of tonight. All right, so let's get to the playoffs. That's who we talking about, the playoff. So even though some of these picks, some of these games obviously have already happened, but we chose our picks well before the game started. So let's get to what we had chosen. All right, the Raiders versus the Bengals. We all know the Bengals won the game, and I chose the Bengals. Yay! Dizzy Mac, he chose, what did Dizzy Mac chose? Dizzy Mac, we all know Dizzy Mac had the Raiders, so, you know, he's always rooting for the Raiders. So, you know, I always say Dizzy Mac roots with his heart, not with his head. But anyway, and Spitface, you chose the Bengals. All right, let's move along. Patriots versus the Bills. Well, I'm just going to put it this way. All three of us were bamboozled on this one.
We were buffalo.
Right, because we all three chose the Patriots. And you know what? That was a beatdown. So we got a beatdown on that choice. All right, so let's go to some of the picks for today's game. 49ers versus the Cowboys. How about those Cowboys? I've chosen the Cowboys. Dizzy Mac said he wants the Cowboys too. And Spitface, you chose who?
The 49ers.
The 49ers, that's right. You went against the odds. All right, well, you know what? Everybody says the 49ers Cowboys, that's a very tough draw for the Cowboys because they could easily lose that game. All right, so where we go next? The Cardinals versus the Rams. And, yeah, the Cardinals have beaten the Rams before. But Dizzy Mac has the Cardinals. Yes, Dizzy Mac has the Cardinals. Spitface, who do you have? You have the
Rams.
The Rams. You have the Rams, and I have the Rams. I just don't trust the Cardinals, to be honest with you. I just don't think they got it. All right, so that's the games, because obviously there's only 4 games. Actually, there's only 4 games. So let's go to the over and under game. Let's see, Deebo Samuel, over or under 29 yards. This one was tough for me. I went under. It's been hit or miss with that. So Dizzy Mac chose over. Spitface, you chose
over.
I know you chose over. All right. Steelers versus the Chiefs. I noticed we didn't have that game listed. Did we? No, we got them listed in the underdogs. Okay. Steelers versus the Chiefs. Over under 46 points. All right. Spitface, you chose what?
Under.
That's right. You went you went under. Surprisingly. Because if anything, I think the Chiefs will score 46 alone. So that's why I chose over. And Dizzy Matt, he chose over also. We said the Chiefs are going to have most of those points. Okay. Moving along, Cardinals Rams over under 50 points. Okay. I chose over. Yeah, I chose over. The Cardinals can put up some numbers. I don't know about the Rams. If Matt Stafford plays right, they can put up some number. All right, so I chose over. Dizzy Mac also chose over. Right? Let me see. Yeah, Dizzy Mac chose over. And Spitface?
I'm going with the under.
Yeah, you went with the under. All right. Sacks. 49ers. Sack Dak. 2 sacks. Over or under? Okay. Spitface, what did you choose?
I went with the over. It's going to be sack attack on Dak.
It's going to be sack attack on Dak. Dizzy Mac also said over. Let me just double check. He said, Dizzy Mac said over. And I said under. I don't think Dak is going to get sacked by the 49ers 2 times. So basically, he would have to get sacked 3 times. So I don't think that's going to happen. All right, moving along. 49ers versus Cowboys. Over under 51 points. All right. Spitface. Well, let me go. I said over. I think that's going to be a very wide open game. I said over. Dizzy Mac said over. And Spitface, what do you have?
I'm going with the under.
All right, you going with the under. All right, you just don't think these are going to be some blowout games. All right, so Bills, Patriots, over under 44 points. What was the score? I forgot what the score was. Was that over?
47-17.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How could I forget?
Hey, the Patriots trying to forget.
We already know. And you know what? I think I got, let me see, I chose on that one. Let's see. I chose under, because we all chose under, I believe. Dizzy Mac.
No, I went with the over.
No, not you. Not Dizzy Mac went under, right? Patriots, Dizzy Mac went under. And Spitface, you did go with the over. Wow, good for you. Good for you. I thought that was going to be an under game because I thought it was so cold that it was going to be under. All right. Option for $1 million. Joe Burrow leads all passer in yardage. Yes or no? So anyway, I said no. I said Joe Burrow will not lead. Dizzy Mac says no. But Spitface, guess what you said?
God darn, Joe Burrow, the high-octane offense come flowing down.
I know. It was.
Yeah, what happened to my man Jamal? I'm upset.
I'll tell you, I at least thought they would get over 300 yards. They didn't even get over 300 yards in passing. I was a little bit disappointed. I told you.
They got enough to win.
That's all that matters, right? Okay, so we got the upset. Maximum $1 million, and you could bet max for both games. All right, so the Eagles versus the Buccaneers, Steelers versus the Chiefs. All right. So basically, I passed on that one because I just didn't see anybody upsetting it. The Steelers definitely not upsetting the Chiefs. Now the Eagles could do the Bucs, but I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I don't think Tom Brady is going to let that happen. So let me go to the picks. Dizzy Mac, and you know he always bets the maximum. He has the Steelers upsetting the Chiefs for $1 million. He really believes in the Steelers. I don't believe in the Steelers that much. All right, and I was surprised that Spitface, you decided to pick a team, right? Tell everybody what team you decided.
I'm going with Big Ben and company and Tomlin to pull off the upset.
And you bet 500 points. My goodness. Y'all, I ran away from that one because I didn't see it happen on neither games. I just don't believe in it. But I don't know, Spitface. Well, I don't know. I did win the upset last week because I had Jackson. I think I had Jacksonville over the Colts. I wish I had put some more money on it. I mean, more points on it. But anyway, we will see how we do with the wild card picks, the wild card weekend. All right, let's move along. What is our top stories for this week? What's your top story, Spitface?
The Steelers upsetting the Chiefs.
That's your top story, the Steelers upset the Chiefs. My top story is the Los Angeles Lakers. What is going on with them? They are under 500. I think it's the first time LeBron James has been under 500 while he's been playing since the Cleveland Cavaliers days. His first season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, Magic Johnson came out and said it's one thing we can, they just lost to the Denver Nuggets by a lot of points, and Magic Johnson tweeted, said, the fans can accept a loss, but they just cannot accept players not playing well. I mean, not playing hard. And that's what the impression was, that the Lakers were not playing hard enough. So I'm going to see. That's a big story. All right. Rachel Balkovec. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Balkovec. She will become the manager of a team in the Yankees minor league system, making her the first woman to lead an affiliated professional baseball squad. She's 34 years old, and she will manage the Tampa Tarpoons, the low Class A affiliate of the Yankees for the 2022 season, which begins in April, right? Baseball is about ready to begin if they don't have a lockout. But anyway, the Yankees hired her in November 2019 as a hitting coach in their minor leagues. She was believed to be the first woman hired as a full-time hitting instructor for a big league team. Balkovec began working in professional baseball in 2012 on a temporary contract as the strength and conditioning coach for the St. Louis Cardinals minor league affiliate in Johnson City, Tennessee, where she was the Appalachian League's strength coach for a year. So the bottom line is this young lady has been in baseball for many, many years, and congratulations to her. That is really a big deal to be on the Yankees as a female coach. The Yankees are very strict. Like with they still make their ball players, they can't wear beards. I mean, the Yankees got very strict. Yes, they got very strict. What's it called? Uniform policy, and one of the things they can't wear, they're not allowed to have beards, and so I'm shocked that the Yankees allowed a woman in their system. So kudos to the New York Yankees. Well,
as long as she don't grow a beard, I guess she okay.
Right. Well, join us and our partners at the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center as we honor our veteran women entrepreneurs. Please visit honorourveteranwomen.com. HonorOurVeteranWomen.com. Check out our current and previous episodes at BrasPantiesAndSports.com and our Facebook page, BP and Sports. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Enjoyed Wild Card Week.
Go Dr. King.